Today, we want to continue looking at this internal conflict. And we're going to look at James chapter 4, verses 2 through 3. And it's interesting because James comes in and he repeats something 4 different times. He says, you do not have. Now listen, y'all, when God repeats something, especially 4 times, I know, and you should know, that we need to pay attention. We need to wake up and pay heed because he's trying to make a point. Think with me. James begins and he says, you lust and you do not have. Lust actually means to covet. What are you coveting? What are you lusting for that you cannot have or do not have? And then think, what happens when you don't get what you want? What happens when you don't get your way? What do you do? Well, James says, you murder. And I'm thinking, really, Lord? Murder? You're going to go that far? Think with me. I had to think and reason with this. What happens when people don't get what they want, when they don't get their way? Well, they become angry. Well, according to God in his word, and you'll discover today, to be angry with a brother is almost the equivalence of murder. Who are you angry with today? You know, the latest stats I have go only back to 2016. I don't have 2017, and it's the year 2018. But 17,250 murders were reported that year. That's the equivalent of almost 50 murders a day, having to do with an internal conflict. That doesn't account for suicide. This month, my dearest friend's nephew committed suicide. That's a form of murder, you all. On an average, there are 121 suicides a day. There's an internal conflict going on. And that doesn't even take into account the killing of babies. That's a taking of life. Close to 2,500 babies will lose their lives in abortions today. Think and reason. When people don't get what they want, when they don't get their way, they become angry. And that unchecked anger can lead to conflict, which can lead to murder of others and oneself. Oh, join me today and let's hear what God has to say about lusting and not having and murder.